Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
It's definitely dying time. We just finished up with our fourth and final day of Comicpalooza coverage. I'm exhausted and excited and wired, and I don't even know what else.
Well, hi, exhausted. I'm Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. Who else is here?
And Chris.
Chris is here.
Yeah. It's been a...
Exhausted, a.k.a. JD.
That's right. I'm JD. Yeah, you can tell I'm exhausted.
And we also have your wife as a special guest this evening because she was also present at Comicpalooza.
2 out of 4 days.
2 out of 4 days.
2 out of
that's
4
enough,
days.
Man.
That's something.
Yes, sir.
All right, and well, we have just a few reviews because we have so much coverage from Comicpalooza, and granted, we're not going to be going into great detail on everything that we have for y'all tonight.
That would take forever.
It would take just as long as Comicpalooza took, which was 4 days. But we will give you a brief synopsis of things to keep an eye on the website for, because I'm going to be spending all week editing videos, editing audio, writing articles all week. So expect at least an article a day from us. At least. And hopefully within the next week, I'll have some of these videos edited and put together and actually have them on the site. So, now I have just a few reviews.
We're going to lead in, since you did that little soundbite at the beginning, we should lead in with Vertigo's newest addition to their writing or literary family,
which would be Mad Max Fury Road, Nux and Immortan Joe #1. If y'all hear that, that's my dog being a spaz in the background.
Angel, come on.
Stop it!
Thank you.
And
there you go.
There we go. Continue, sir.
Nux and Immortan Joe #1. Now, if you're going to go watch the movie, if you haven't watched it yet, or you have watched the movie and are curious as to where did Nux come from or where did Immortan Joe come from, this book is what you need to read. This has all that information in it, and straight out of the gate, 5 capes.
I'm going to go with 5 chimichangas because that was such a great addition to the movie. If you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, see it and read this book, man. Are you going to say anything? You got something?
Hey, you continue.
Oh. All right.
That's right.
Well, anyway, so
I was
it is truly shiny and chrome, and we highly recommend you read it, especially if you love the movie, and even if you don't, maybe it'll get you interested. Maybe it'll make you think, well, where are these characters going? You know? So it's something to read. And you know what? I went to Bedrock over on Bay Area. They sold out. I had to drive my ass all the way to Washington to get a copy.
Well, All Star in Baytown has it.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, folks, if you're on the Baytown side, like our good friend Aaron, our winner from Comicpalooza, he was there all 4 days.
Yes, he was.
And he was awesome.
He really is.
I don't know if you're listening, Aaron, but hey, man, I thank you very much for coming up to me and taking the load off just a little bit by grabbing some cards and handing them out. You did an awesome job promoting for us, and we thank you for that.
Your mom is awesome, too, by the way.
Yes, she is. She is very awesome for bringing y'all there.
But, let's see, we have Mad Max Fury Road. See, what else do I have? I have Postal #1. We did a long interview with Matt Hawkins. And we did a couple short interviews, and I had a few Q&As with him. Such a great guy. And in my personal opinion, hands down, the friendliest guy there.
He was very personable, and it was like he was one of the... It was almost like he was there attending the show. It wasn't even like he was there as the CEO or the president of Top Cow. He was just there to have fun.
Yeah, and well, we definitely did. We walked around together with our one of our assistants, Steven, who is also works with an affiliate of ours. But we actually, all 3 of us walked around a good bit and had a great time. But his Postal #1, now they're out this Wednesday. #4 will be out. However, if you were at Comicpalooza and you went by the Top Cow booth,
You see something very interesting on that flagpole in Colorado. What's no? It's Wyoming. It's
Wyoming.
it's
Eden, Wyoming.
Wyoming. You see something very interesting that shouldn't be there.
That's
and
a Texas flag. Reason
Yep.
why is they put out a special variant just for Comicpalooza, and it is postal number 4. So if you were at Comicpalooza, if you swung by a Top Cow's booth, you had the chance to get postal number 4 before anybody else.
Yep.
And we got it.
We got it, and we also got the Texas variant.
That's right. That's right.
That's the beautiful thing, man. If you don't go to conventions, you don't get in on these sweet freaking deals. I'm just going to throw this one in real quick.
Now, hold on now. What's the rating?
Rating for postal number 1, straight up 5.
There we go.
5. It's Matt Hawkins. I haven't been disappointed yet, and I highly doubt I will be.
I'm pretty sure mine's going to be a 5, but I haven't read it yet. I need to get to that. But before we go, just to throw in another one, there is another exclusive that was at Comicpalooza. Probably several, but this one in particular was, for all you Marvel fans, a big one. Stan the Man Lee was at Comicpalooza. I actually got to sit in on the Q&A, and we will have a video posted of that in the very near future. But for Comicpalooza, I finally picked up my 6th, yes, 6th variant cover for Deadpool's Secret Wars, which has Stan Lee on the cover holding one of Deadpool's katanas and Deadpool losing his mind saying, "Really, Stan?" right over Deadpool's Secret Wars
Logo.
title. Yeah, so it's great. It's a beautiful cover, and I love it. So if you want to get stuff like that, you need to go to the cons.
All right, now as far as coverage, what all else was there, folks, is just pure insanity. I can't list everything.
I saw
but
Judge
basically-
Dredd trying to take somebody to an ISO cube. I mean, I saw... What did you see, man? What kind of craziness did you see?
Oh,
I saw Deadpool dressed up in a banana suit.
Oh man, for me, probably one of the coolest was Wario.
Yes.
He was awesome. If
Lewis.
you actually listen to
His name is Lewis.
our live broadcast that we did from Saturday evening,
He showed up.
He showed up,
Yeah.
and we actually hit up with him yesterday and got to talk with him some more. He's actually part of a Nintendo group, and we're going to be linking up with them in the future. And they actually go to conventions, and they actually go do random activities together, all in costume.
Like go-kart racing.
Go-kart racing.
We might actually have some pictures in the very near future. If you can't find them yet, you might be able to find them through us soon.
That's right. That's right. We're waiting on an email from Lewis any day now. We also got hooked up with Boxes in Action. I actually have a mutual friend with the owner of Boxes in Action. Now, if you don't know what Boxes in Action are, which I've found out very few people do, when it comes to comic book storage boxes, most of them are white. One guy actually holds the patent on printed boxes. They have graphics and things printed on them. That's Boxes in Action. Well, it turns out the owner and I have a mutual friend. That mutual friend told me, hey, go, if you get a chance, go talk to him and tell him you're my friend. He might, work a partnership out with y'all. So he was there. I figured, why not? If I don't ask, I got a 100% chance of no. If I ask, I'm 50-50. So I'll bring up the name. And he immediately said, dude, do you have a card? I'll shoot you an email. We'll work something out together. So, look for that coming.
Wait. Does that mean we might actually have some comic book boxes that have our logo on them eventually?
At this point, I'm not going to count anything out, but I'm not going to say anything is confirmed. But once again, that's somebody
That
else.
would be
I'm
cool.
waiting on an email from.
That would be cool.
But Overground Comics was there.
Yes.
We talked to Overground. They have 4 comics out right now, and we all got an issue of each one.
And we also did an article a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
On all 4 issues. So you need to check out that article, and also anywhere you can find them, go pick up some Overground comics.
They're actually in a lot of stores around here too.
Yep.
I've been hearing about this comic, The Kingdom. They're up to 5 issues at the moment, but it's story and art by Jason Bienvenu. And I've been hearing about it. Well, they were there. Once again, this is another local small publisher. But I figured, you know what? Let me grab issue number 1. Let me read that. So he tossed it to me. He signed it for me. No charge. He just handed it to me. Hey, love to. Well, of course, I had to pay for the comic. But he signed it with no charge. And I'm really anxious to be reading this. And, well, I have a massive stack of things to read now.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, soon as I know, folks, you'll know. I've been hearing a lot about it, and I'm really excited to read it. And just, and the big comic release from our friends over at Last Century Comics, well, they did their promo. It was available if you were at Comicpalooza.
In several different covers. I picked up the blank variant.
That is G.I. Bro, which is going to be based on the first persona of Booker T. Yes, that's right, the wrestler. His first persona...
Houston local.
Yes, his first persona was G.I. Bro. And we actually did an interview with him.
I did an interview with him, actually.
Yes,
I did an interview with him.
And as soon as that's edited, it will be up on the website. But he's such a great guy, folks. He was more than happy to talk to us and tell us everything about it. But you can catch all that in the interview. Jimmy, what did you think of him?
Oh man, the guy's awesome. The guy's awesome. I try to cover as much. Of what he was doing in that interview. I wanted to make sure he was happy, and I think he was. We talked about his comic, how he felt about it. We also talked about the wrestling event that was going on that he was hosting. So if you want to catch that interview, you want to see me and Booker T, and oh God, man, the guy was great. If you ever see him, don't be afraid to walk up to him and talk to him. He's a really nice guy. I've had a lot of friends that have said the same thing. They walked up to him walking out of the grocery store and said hi, and he was so cool. So, it's great when you meet people like that. And I'm anxious to read this book.
We have interaction?
Oh, no, I was just checking. Well, Chris, you had an interview today.
Today, yes. Amongst many, I had an excellent one today. Today, I got to interview, basically hang out with also George Giordano, famous prop maker. Mainly was there for all the Borderlands props, and his daughter was a psycho there. I mean, God, excellent stuff. Mainly, we went over. Let's see,
Fallout.
Yeah, we went over the Fallout, but we also went over his. How he interns.
That's right.
Well, he does the internships with the prop making through his home, and then he went over the new film coming up. Yes, there's a new film coming up. It's going to be based on Borderlands, the Telltale Games of Borderlands games, and that was amazing. He went over so much in a short amount of time. It was awesome.
And what was
we got an exclusive look.
Yeah, what was also great about it is we did get an exclusive look. He actually gave us a tour of everything that was there for the Borderlands setup that he had. And he went through and explained how all these props were made. And it was just amazing how he was taking just, stuff that people wouldn't even think. It's like, you see this? This here, see this little rocket here? You take it up and... It's a martini, it's a shaker. You make a martini out of this, pops it back together, slaps it in. And I was like, man, this guy's got some great ideas, and his talent with building props. It comes back from a lot of history, man.
40 years of experience. This guy's been at it, since Jesus was a June bug, folks. and the coolest part I found was all these amazing props and everything. The short amount of time it takes him to build them. Not only that, but the small amount of money he needs to put these really extravagant animatronics and different props together.
How much did he say that loader bought? How much did he say? Was it $150 to build the logo?
$125, as well as it weighs only 125 pounds.
So
yeah, and it's
$1
huge.
per pound.
Huge. Yeah, and it's really some incredible stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, we got an exclusive look at the teaser, and it wasn't necessarily a teaser. Apparently some people got caught sneaking into the costume room on a Marvel set, and apparently
Of the Civil War set, yes.
War set, and well, I'm not going to say what happened, but let's just say punishment occurred.
Some very angry seamstresses made sure that they would never do that again.
Well, he actually made a little teaser specifically for Marvel to say, "Hey, we understand," and it's great. I thought it was awesome. I've never played Borderlands, but man, that little clip, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That I thought it was incredibly cool, especially the last shot out of that camera. Who do you see? Him.
Yeah. He punches the camera, man. That was
great. that was awesome. So, yeah, look for that coming out soon, and we'll be posting that interview. I've got so much film footage of that interview, and so many mics floating around. It's going to take me a little while to get all that edited and cut together right.
Yeah, dude.
But
what was it? At the last minute, we decided to use 3 iPads.
Yeah, we had 3 cameras running around. We have 3 mics running around.
They're being broadcast live, actually.
Oh, yes, and a live broadcaster actually showed up in the middle and wanted to broadcast our interview live, and, well...
He missed the interview, but...
He did the walk-around.
He did the walk-around, which was cool. Man, that was so awesome. I was amped. And and that was... Oh, God, I can't even talk about it. It was awesome.
It was absolutely incredible. And see, now I had an interview, a Q&A yesterday morning with Kevin Eastman.
Yes.
Now, one of our friends is a local DJ. I'm not going to say his name.
We can't really say his name.
Not yet. But he is a Usagi Yojimbo fan. So I felt it absolutely necessary. I had to ask. Because they did so many crossovers back in the 80s and the early 90s between Yojimbo and TMNT.
This is the part where we tell our friend, if you're listening, listen up.
Yes. Listen, right now, this is the part where you need to just turn everything down in the room.
And put your ears close to the speaker.
Real close. Real close. Now, I asked him, you did a whole lot of crossovers with Yojimbo back in the 80s and 90s. Can we look forward to that in the future? And he said he'd love to. They've been talking about it, and they're working on it.
You can pull away now.
Okay.
Pull away.
Yeah.
If you're not deaf yet.
Yeah.
Just pull out.
Anyway.
Hey, don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Family friendly.
That was family friendly. There was no cussing.
Oh!
10-4.
Good job, sir.
And that's where families come from.
Giggity.
Giggity.
But, and see, what other interviews do we have? Now, Jimmy, you were in another Q&A. Who were you in a Q&A with?
The
first one.
The first one. Oh, yes. I actually got to do a Q&A with Jackie Earl Haley. You might remember him from such films as Bad News Bears. If you don't remember him from there, that's going a little far back. You might remember him as Rorschach from The Watchmen, Freddy Krueger from Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. My bad. And you also might remember from RoboCop, which I did. It was a great interview. It was an awesome Q&A. Everybody had some awesome questions to ask him. Even Soren did. He brought up something from an indie film that he did years ago, and it was something he never thought about. So it kind of stumped him, and he was just like, "Wow!" And I never thought about it. But one of the things I've been talking about it because I loved it, and one of the other podcasters asked him, told him, "Hey, you didn't think you were going to get away without us asking about Rorschach?" And I immediately come up with a question. I said, "Well, I do have a question. And the question was, what would you buy for $1? So if you've seen RoboCop, he puts out the little quote, "I wouldn't buy that for $1," and he kind of laughed when I said it, and he said, "Well, that movie was really underrated, and I think people just didn't give it enough credit. They were comparing it too much to the old school, and what just getting into that, I thought that was great." That he was actually willing to talk about RoboCop, and he didn't see it as a failure. He saw it as something that was just, people didn't catch. They didn't get everything. Yeah, they didn't understand it. And we went on to talk about, his time spent here in Houston, as a child doing Bad News Bears, and him standing in the Astrodome. And recollecting, and reminiscing about looking up and thinking, gosh, this place is so huge. And the best part about it, he was wearing a classic Astros t-shirt. Had the classic Astrodome logo. And I was like, man, this guy came here a fan of Houston. I enjoyed the interview. It was awesome.
And Soren was also in a Gotham panel.
Yes, he was, and we don't know how that turned out, but we'll find out.
That's right. I'm waiting on the audio or the report or whatever he's got for me from that. And see, now, Chris.
Yes.
You did a panel with a certain podcasting celebrity.
Yeah. It was. It was. Well, it involved most all the podcasters that attended. That was part of the partnership.
That's right.
Ming Chen was in there.
Very nice.
That was. A lot of info flowed from. Everyone. Not just Ming Chen. Not just from one person here, one person here. Everybody had input. It was great input. I learned a lot. Pretty sure everyone learned from everybody. And matter of fact, that's how it should be. Everybody should be sharing ideas like that, and that's. That should happen a lot more, not just at Comicpalooza.
That's right.
That is the one thing I did like about it. We actually did have a lot of collaboration with the other casters, man.
Yes, we did, yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
we did. And speaking of which, we actually partnered with Cassie and Sarah's Nerdy Adventure.
Yes.
We had a small interview with Matt Hawkins, a band... Jealous Creatures.
Yeah, it was a straight up round robin press interview.
It was like speed dating but with interviews.
Yeah, we didn't know who was coming except for when we looked down the line, and I'll tell you what, the look on JD's face when he saw Matt Hawkins was priceless. He was losing it, and I was like, "Dude, it's okay, calm down."
Well, you got to picture, say you're a reporter. And they bring you and a bunch of other reporters from a bunch of other different newspapers into a room. And they say, okay, we're going to bring in the people that you're going to interview. And you repeatedly ask, who am I interviewing? Who am I interviewing? Who am I interviewing? Reason why is, well, you would like to be prepared, of course. But they don't tell you. And then all of a sudden, one of your heroes is standing right across the room making his rounds through the circle, and you realize, I wasn't prepared for this yet. I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't know it was happening right now. It was completely and totally unprepared. I was a deer in the headlights, but I kind of found my feet.
No, you did good. You did really good, sir.
I did very, very well on my longer interview that I had with him. Now, I also did an interview with Vince from Stratum Comics, and they got some really, really good artwork. As a matter of fact, if you were there and you got a program for Comicpalooza,
that was their artwork.
That was their artwork. That's artwork from their comic book line, and it looks great. I haven't read any of it yet, but I will be, and man, I'm really excited for it. They're creating their own universe, and they got their own stuff going on. And, well, just like any other publisher, they're getting out there and they're trying to be different. They're trying to set themselves apart. But this has been for them right about 30 years in the making. So this has been a long, very rough road for them. And I would imagine over 30 years of them trying to get to this level, It's going to be a great product, and I wouldn't expect any less from anybody as dedicated to their art as he is. And his daughter was actually there coloring prints as well. So I'm really looking forward to reading some of their stuff, and I will be reviewing it as I get it done. Now, who else did we talk to? We talked to so many people.
Jimmy had an interesting interview.
Definitely.
And you know what? I went to Comicpalooza wanting this interview. I knew that it was going to be less of an interview and more of a, let me ask a question and see where it goes. If you ever had the chance to talk to Gwar, you
Be specific.
probably... Be specific, and you probably won't be talking to them for very long because
They'll be talking to you.
They're going to be running. They'll take anything you say and run a mile a minute with it. It's great. But yeah, we will be posting that interview. As far as I know, we're probably
that one doesn't need as much editing, so it'll probably be going up here very, very quick.
What, Gwar?
Yes. However, I will warn, we are going to be putting an NSFW tag on this, explicit content, because it is pretty raw.
Not safe for work.
Or children.
Or children, or your grandma, or your dog, or, if you are easily offended, do not listen to this interview. But if you want to hear Gwar say
or
some
a Cosby fan.
Yeah.
Or Cosby fan. I'm sorry, but Beefcake had some things to say.
I'm not going to hold them against it personally. They're Gwar.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
They're characters.
They're going
shock.
for shock value. That's what the point is.
Yes, definite shock value. But I got to interview...
And they nailed that one.
Yeah, I got to interview Beefcake the Mighty, Sleazy P. Martini, and their newest addition, Blothar, who is their front man. And they all had some great stuff to say. Well, maybe not the greatest stuff to say, but it was freaking hilarious. If you want to watch an interview and laugh and probably feel really wrong afterwards, watch it. Because we're going to post it. We just got to figure out how we're gonna put a disclaimer on it.
Yeah, I will be putting a disclaimer on that one. But out of all the video interviews, that's one that came out the cleanest. I got to meet another one of my idols on small screen. The most recent TV iteration of Superman.
Oh my gosh.
Smallville. Well, Jonathan Kent was played by John Schneider.
And you were dressed up as Clark Kent that day.
Correct. Full suit and tie with the shirt wide open, Superman shirt underneath.
What did he do when he saw you?
Well, we went up, my wife and I went up, and well, Tanya, you're right here, you can talk about it too. We walked up and we wanted to get a picture. And I asked him, do you mind if I get in it as well? Dressed like that? Yeah, come on. So, yeah.
Can I call you Dad?
Part of me wanted to do that. I was a little geeky about it, but I was able to contain. But we do have a picture of that, and, well, depending on your response, we might post it.
Why
Maybe.
would you post it?
Maybe.
We got a lot of pictures.
Well, if you don't know who John Schneider is, let's go back to the 70s. All right, sure. We'll go back there. How about Bo Duke?
Yeah.
From the Dukes of Hazzard.
All growed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
All grown up.
But he still looks good for his age, honestly.
He does.
And people are actually probably pretty familiar with it if they watch TV because they've been doing a lot of commercials for, I think it was CarMax?
Geico.
Geico commercials?
Maybe. No.
They were
shopping. I think it was CarMax.
They're shopping for a car.
I think it was CarMax.
I don't know what car dealership commercial they're doing, but they're doing commercials. So.
And he was honestly a really great guy. Every other celebrity sitting there signing autographs was sitting behind a table. And I'm looking down the line.
I never saw him behind the table.
I'm looking down the line for John Schneider, and I don't see him behind the table. We thought he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He didn't want to
And then we realized,
no,
he's in front of the table, shaking hands, giving hugs, kissing babies kind of stuff.
You know, the only other celebrity I saw that was doing that was the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
The Boogeyman was
out there taking
people
pictures
down,
with little
man.
kids.
Yeah, I very rarely saw him behind the table either.
He was. The first time I saw him, he was pacing, looking for something to do.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this guy's all dressed up and insane. He even went over and did a photo with Gwar for somebody. I was like, that is a cool photo. So you get to see a lot of interesting celebs, man. You get to see these people interact with each other, and things you'd never expect to see happen. I had the most amazing 4 days of my life so far, and I expect that next year we'll have an amazing 4 days as well. What else we got, man? Do I need to do some comic books? Because I just completely passed over these covers.
Go for it, brother. Go for it.
In addition to interviewing Booker T, which was amazing, I got him to sign a blank cover of G.I. Bro. One of the guys from Jay's All-Star Comics in Baytown,
Yes,
is an awesome illustrator, and I'm probably going to look him up. If you're not listening to this, Chris, you need to be.
Chris Foreman.
Chris Foreman, I want you to do the art on this cover. And Last Century probably wouldn't have a damn problem with it.
I will be doing a interview with him sometime later this week. Reason why was we were so pressed for time, we didn't get a chance to do an interview at Comicpalooza.
I'll pass that on to you. You just tell me how much I owe him, okay?
No problem.
All right.
Problem.
The other one we've already covered, which would be the postal with the Texas flag. That's an awesome looking issue. This one in particular, and I'm going to say this, I've seen this before, but not until Comicpalooza did this actually, and it's doing it to me right now. I can't really look at it for long because it starts to get me all teary-eyed. But it is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man with Stan Lee on the cover, sitting on a Barcalounger reading his comics to kids. And
the kids are all in
yeah,
superhero T-shirts.
You got a kid wearing a cap shirt.
Yeah.
You got a kid wearing a green shirt with purple shorts. You got a kid wearing a Wolverine shirt, Spider-Man, and
it's a Scotty Young artwork.
Scotty Young variant.
And he just does a fantastic job with everything he can put his hands on.
And you know what? This has got Stan Lee on the cover. Scotty Young drew it, and just how touching I find this, it brings a tear to my eye because, as a kid, I felt like one of those kids. Like, I'm sitting there waiting for a good thing, Every time I cracked open a Marvel comic, I was waiting for a good story, and I was waiting to be entertained, and they did not disappoint. Because I've got like 17 boxes of comics at home, and most of them are Marvel. So, there you go.
A huge shout out to Southern Vapors, especially Jason and Steven. They came up to the convention with us. Steven was there with us Sunday.
Yes.
And Steven and Jason were both there today, and they were a huge help.
Yeah.
Huge help.
And
really
huge fans.
Huge fans. And guys, thank you both, because we needed the extra hands. We needed the extra feet.
Yeah.
And they were more than happy to, hey, you want me to hold that? You want me to carry that?
That's how
you need me to run this over here?
That's how we got 3 different angles on that one interview.
That's right.
There was the
was
third
awesome.
iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Steven's.
Yeah.
That was very awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll be linking up with him later to get his footage. I'm also going to give a shout out to some cosplayers, because there are some great people out there. I don't have all their names, but St. Pierre. I'm just going to call him St. Pierre because I'm not going to blast all his information out. But
you know what?
This guy is got an incredible Wolverine, and he really is Canadian.
Yes. Not only is he really Canadian, and he's actually an awesome Wolverine, this guy is actually the same height as Wolverine would be in the comics.
That's true.
So
That's true.
He's
That's
got
very
it great.
true.
And, the story about him is he's a plumber.
Yeah.
He actually, whenever I encountered the guy, he was looking at this guy who was dressed as Gambit and noticed a lot of the pieces on the guy's outfit were plumbing supplies.
Yeah, and
he starts
electrical.
pointing at him, and electrical supplies.
Dang, dude.
So you guys are standing there. You and him and JD are standing there
Well,
pointing at
I did
all the
electrical,
stuff.
so
Yeah, it was neat. It was
Well,
neat
like,
to talk
that's
to
a
that
conduit clamp right there. I can see that. Oh man, that's a junction right there. Oh man, that's flex conduit, dude, for their collar. That's cool, man. But yeah, some great cosplayers, especially Belshare,
Oh,
Anna Mia,
dude.
Ivy Doom Kitty.
And
Y'all-
Belshare was...
Belshare.
Yeah, there you are. Wake up, Chris. Talking about your girl.
Chris's
Belshare.
daily supply of hugs. Every day, Belshare gave this man a hug willingly. She told him, come back and get a hug.
Every day.
And you know
And he
what?
did.
I got to see her dressed as Hela, and I got to see her dressed as Miss Marvel today. Both of those costumes were so impressive, and she was so nice to her fans.
The Captain Marvel, holy shit.
She looked awesome.
It was extremely awesome. And out of the cosplay world, I haven't seen a Captain Marvel like that anywhere. Looked that amazing. It was awesome.
We also need to give a shout out to the Wave. The Wave, they provided a little bit of hospitality to us podcasters and bloggers, and a huge thank you to the Wave for taking us around to the places that we needed to go.
And thank you for tolerating our crazy, crazy selves.
Oh yeah, because there was a bunch of us on these buses, folks. And then Leprechaun Hard Cider. We actually had a chance to interview Jake Schiffer, who is the president of Leprechaun Hard Cider, and they have complete redesign, rebranding of 3 different flavors, and we actually got exclusive tastings. These are going to be in stores here real soon.
We actually...
We're the first people.
Well, from him, he told me personally that if we want to interview him, he has no problem with it.
Well, I'm going to be
near
tracking
future.
that down, and I'm going to be working on that.
And you know what? The other thing about it, those ciders, they are as natural as you can get.
They are fresh, organic.
They use organic ingredients, natural ingredients,
No added sweeteners.
no added sweeteners, and it is. If you're worried about drinking a cider and like, oh, the calories, all the sugar,
Yeah, there's like 9 grams of sugar in a
I
bottle.
know.
Yeah.
They were so health conscious about
But
it.
they were delicious.
Oh my god, the pomegranate. I love the pomegranate.
Well, there's another one. Don't forget, Friday, we had Yellow Rose Distillery.
I know you were amped for that one.
That was unbelievably incredible.
You didn't even know what we were doing until you got there, and you're like,
No,
we're getting a drink, and then they're like, we're going on a tour. We're going on a tour?
Yeah, that's when I got excited.
That's
you
when
know?
his Tennessee Mountain Boy came out.
Oh yeah, where's your pot? Let me see your pot. No, hey, y'all don't have a thump barrel. How do you filter? And yeah, we actually got to that tour, and they are a Houston local distillery. They have 3 lines of bourbon and a line of vodka. And folks, I've had a lot of different vodkas. I really have. Being the martini lover that I am, I've tried a lot of different vodkas. This is by far one of the smoothest vodkas I've ever had. And absolutely incredible. If you're over 21, go check them out. They're right here in Houston, and they are competitively priced. And also, Virus Vodka was there at the convention, giving away samples as long as you were over 21.
The interesting about now, you said that Yellow Rose had some good vodka. I'm not a vodka drinker, and I have to say this, but Yellow Rose had some awesome vodka because you could actually taste it. There's very little burn and a lot of flavor, and I liked that. I liked that you could actually enjoy it. Virus Vodka, who was at Comicpalooza, I believe they have a very similar way of distilling it. They
do.
use all corn. Well, maybe not all corn, but they use corn.
It's corn based.
Corn based and wheat, right?
Probably wheat.
The
Or barley.
Virus Vodka had a sweetness to it, but either way, also very similar result. I could actually taste the vodka. I could taste the flavor in it and not the burn.
And they're based in Texas, American made.
Yes.
That's right.
And they have really awesome bottles.
Yeah, they look like I don't even remember
They look
the name
like
of the
a
bottle.
beaker. They look like a...
I loved their advertisement of the zombie girl, and it said, "Virus Vodka, get infected."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adorable.
that's actually really, really cool. And there was a lot of other people there. Sam Del Rosa was there.
Oh, yes.
And see who else?
He wrote on Venom. He was a writer for Venom for a while.
That's right. And J.M. DeMatteis was there.
Oh, dude, you got to tell him the DeMatteis story.
So, all right, a while back I did a review for Superman's Speeding Bullets, and well, J.M. DeMatteis was on that book. Well, he was right next to Matt Hawkins, and actually, yesterday when I went to go do my full interview with Matt Hawkins, I came up and Matt asked me, "Hey, man, you ready?" I'm like, if you don't mind, J.M. DeMatteis is right next to you. I'm going to get an autograph real quick. I'm going to geek out for a second. And he said, "Hey, I don't blame you. I did too earlier when I first saw him." So I go over and I hand him the book. And he looks down and he goes, "Oh, wow, yeah, that was a really great story." And his wife's sitting next to him. Now, keep in mind, he's definitely an older gentleman. And he starts signing it, and his wife looks at him and asks him, "Is that the one where he's in the river being attacked by wolves?" I've never seen a man of that age head snap that fast. And look dead at her, "What are you reading?" But it was definitely an experience, and I got to talk to him a little bit, and I'm going to be writing an article just on my 10-minute interaction with him because it was incredible. But there were so many people there, so many people, like half the cast of Gotham.
Oh yeah. Almost the whole cast.
Kobe
of
Smulders,
Haley Atwell.
You had Roddy Piper.
That's right.
Sting.
Man.
Sting was there. We saw Sting.
Stevie Ray.
I had to move my girlfriend out of the way so Sting wouldn't run her over.
Oh, wow.
We were that close.
Stevie Ray, he was there.
Yeah.
There's, folks, so many people. Way too many to list.
Wrestlers, actors, writers, voice actors.
Summer Glau.
Peter Mayhew.
We're going to have a lot of pictures to back all that up, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We got so many pictures, folks.
Hold on a second. Story of stories. Before we get too far along. Story of stories. Chris, after you got Summer Glau's autograph, who did you see and what happened?
No, wrong person. That was
Haley Atwell?
No. Hold on, chill. That was Chloe Bennett.
Chloe Bennett. I'm sorry.
I got to go see Chloe Bennett. Signature and everything. Man, I got to talk to her briefly. Got a hug from her. She's really awesome, really down to earth, and she is like Sky on the show. It's weird. And after that, obviously they had to move the line along. Everything was, assembly line kind of thing. And after that was done, I turned to grab my comic. Didn't want to smear the signature. I was holding it out in front of me. I was walking.
And you're standing by yourself.
No, I was still walking. No, I was walking.
All right.
I was walking. I got pointed in the direction to out of the line to go. Turn this way so I can get out of there. And from one of the transporter vehicles, hauling butt down the side of the wall, Rosario Dawson was on the back of that.
Oh wow!
And everybody, in the line still. Oh, they started waving and everything. Slight cheers, and everybody's waving. She noticed. She started waving at everybody. And I froze. I dropped my jaw and I was looking at her. Bam! Got a kiss blew at me. My God, that was awesome. That was awesome. And she wasn't even there. I mean, she didn't have a line. She wasn't at the table or nothing. She was just riding by. It was awesome.
Well, just a few more shout outs. We want to give a shout out to Comicpalooza themselves.
Yes.
Just for providing us this opportunity, this privilege, and thank you all, because believe it or not, y'all made it happen for us.
We are fanboys that got to live the dream this weekend. We got to work our asses off for free and be the biggest fanboys we could ever be. Do things we never thought we'd ever do. And my God, I was amazed. I loved it. Every minute of it.
And definitely a shout out to All Star over there in Baytown in the San Jacinto Mall. And definitely Southern Vapors, also in Baytown, 322 East Texas Avenue. But I believe that's pretty much all we're going to give you for tonight. We're going to cut you off right there. If you want the rest, you're going to have to keep an eye on the website, keep an ear out right here, and always share often, like often, and listen often. But I'm calling it a day. I'm JD.
I'm Jimmy.
And Chris.
And thank you guys for listening. We're out.
Boom, headshot!